Yeah, morning guys. A bit chilly this morning. We're off on another little adventure to Waihau Bay. So we're going to catch up with Floyd Pratt from Trophy Lures and head out for a fish and see what we see. And it's looking glorious day. I had a look at the moon phase. It's first quarter today, so everything's on the rise. So should be plenty of bait net around. And forecast is awesome. So we just stopped off at a potiki, and we're going to truck on down there and catch up Floyd and flip into it.
Morning guys, I'm here too. TK is absolutely freezing his ass off this morning, which is hilarious. And it's going to be a very interesting day getting him out in a little trailer boat. It should be fun. See you guys soon.
Alright, we're just trucking along to Waihau Bay. We just stopped in at potiki and had a deep fried big breakfast, as you do.
Downed as many mints as we possibly can.
Yeah, so
we both taste like a dirty deep fryer.
Yeah, your standard all day big breakfast. Yeah, so we're just trucking down the coast now, and sun's streaming in. I'm starting to warm up. Yeah, stoked.
Weather's looking absolutely awesome. There's at the moment no wind or anything like that, so fingers crossed it stays like that for the rest of the day for us, and we'll see what Floyd's got in store for us. We still don't know actually what we're even going to be bloody targeting yet, so yeah, hopefully Floyd's got a plan and we'll see what we can do. So
either way, I'm not pulling it in unless it's a ham line. Yeah, so my neck hurts, everything hurts. So yeah,
you're getting old, TK.
It is because I'm getting old, young fella. So yeah, Cam's on wind up duty.
I think we're going to have Greg on the boat, I think he's taken into his 70s sort of thing, so he'll show you what getting old actually means. And last time we went fishing with him, we got steamrolled by a blue marlin, so hopefully that doesn't happen again today. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know, no doubt with Floyd we'll have lures out. yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so it's going to be bloody exciting, so yeah, cruising down the coast, looking forward to it. Cam's at Taskmaster. He knows I've got a dodgy knee, so I'm walking across the Motu Bridge. Do a bit of footage. But yeah, very special, very special area. Very sacred river. Very sacred. So yeah, incredible place. And you were saying it's surprising how many people get it wrong.
Well, they just go too far over this side.
Over here, yeah. 10 bricks. And what do you got off this lead? Oh, it's just sort of 4 or 5 metres, you're all good?
I go as close as I can to it.
Oh, okay.
Because everybody forgets at low tide that right in the middle here is another rock.
see it. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's another one about here as well.
Right.
It just sticks up at low tide.
So stick to the starboard marker as much as you can. Of course, it's like Queen Street.
It's guys are pretty good, because what they'll do is they'll start talking about the number of boats that are in the haven.
Yes.
And they try to leave it. But if people came in and dropped their person off, especially at bluefin time, for them to walk down the road and then went back out,
Give
it
it
would
one.
make it a hell of a lot easier than everybody seeing you.
Another go around,
Because the other issue that we have is at the bottom of the ramp, when it's low tide, there's quite a bit of a divot. People get stuck coming in. So you've got to come onto the gravel. But and then people powering on, if you've got too many boats in the haven, it just shunts boats sideways. And causes other issues. And they float too far over to the side and get stuck on the rocks here. But what actually happens is, I think that people get this mental thought that they leave from the pub,
straight line,
and they come straight in from the cape, and then do a beeline for the pub. And the hard thing is, when we only had one marker in, we had a storm and it ripped the green marker off, and it made sure it was retrieved. People would go around the wrong side of the red marker, thinking that was the way that they go. And it's a real shame, because people just don't sort of think about what they're doing. But it's actually got better during bluefin time, when guys are starting to think when they're coming in.
Starting to learn the protocol,
Yeah, but also the other issue that we have is, when it's a high tide and there's a bit of a surge, those rocks that are there that we can see that sort of act as a little bit of a breakwater, you get a wicked surge going up the ramp.
I bet.
And poor guys, the damage that gets done on boats trying to go there, and they just skew by. It's phenomenal.
We're just out with Floyd, going out for a fish, and as we're steaming along, we've just spotted a tidal line, and as chance would have it, we've got birds diving, and I can actually see fish jumping out of the water. So as I keep saying to you guys, it's about ticking boxes. So we've just ticked 3 boxes in a row. We've got a colour change, it's gone from green to blue. We've got birds diving, and you can just see the white chop. You've got a little chop there, so we're ticking boxes. So there's definitely a temperature share here, and I can actually see birds working and diving on the fish. So Floyd's just throwing it out of gear, and we're getting some lures out, and we're going to see if we can get young Cam onto a fish. So again, as I say, ticking boxes. We've got birds working. We've got a short chop developing there. You can see from the tidal shear as we come around the corner from Cape Runaway. So we're already ticking 3 boxes. So yeah, there's definitely life here. Of course, if you look at the Bruno sounder, you won't see it with this camera, but yeah, there's life on the sounder. The birds are going nuts. Yeah, so there's a work up here. Where you find work up, you tick in those boxes, you're going to find life, you're going to find fish. So Floyd's just chucking out some trophy lures. What do you got going on there, Floyd?
Oh, I've got I call it a mode bait fish.
Yep.
Americans all call it a gay bob.
Oh, yep. Yeah, I had the gay bobs up in the Coral Sea, and geez, they work well, Floyd.
It's actually down here, it does absolutely amazing. And any of the heads.
Yes.
It's just a colour that works. Man, that's a wicked work up.
That's a hell of a work up, mate. You've got everything there. You've got button birds, you've got gannets diving. Look at them diving, mate. You better start doing some stretching exercises, Cambo. Oh mate, look at that, they're going nuts. Alright, we'll get these lures in the water and we'll see how we go.
Pre-rigged and ready to go.
Jesus Christ, the size of that bloody surf turtle. Making your own weights?
Yeah. I saw it dip then.
Another one?
Alright, we let him down a bit.
Nah. He had that then, eh? That was definitely a bite then, eh?
Oh,
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, just take your time. And then,
enjoy the moment.
the other thing is that you need a drink. Just give it a go.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Enjoy the moment.
is that even now?
Yep.
That's pretty good, Cambo. Two bites in one day
Yeah, man.
on your first sortie outing. That's bloody awesome, mate. Well done.
That's the props to Floyd for getting us on them.
Yeah. Bigger than the last one, Cambo.
Yep.
Yep. Awesome, buddy. Post now, buddy. You'll be there a while. No worries.
Receiving, thank you very much.
Alrighty, well I'll switch the camera off for now and update you later, guys.
Fucking heavier than last time, I can tell you that much.
Mate, good on you. Enjoy the moment. And everything you need.
Yeah. Thank you.
Here to assist.
You good with drink?
Yeah. Want a drink?
No, not yet. I'm like, oh, what's that?
Yeah. Not much in there.
Yeah, I know.
There's a
How's it going, guys? We are back in Waihau Bay now. Eventful day, very, very eventful day. A couple of drops. I managed to get a sword to the boat, still pretty gutted. Well, we got it about 10 meters to the boat, and then it managed to roll the hook out of its mouth and swam off. We did manage to pull in a gemfish, so at least we're coming home with something. But we're pretty excited. We just got back in, and a few boys have landed a blue, so they're going to weigh that in, so I'll cut that video shortly. Yeah, happy days. We'll try again next time.
Is that it or? Yep. George caught it. Brother-in-law and his
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's wicked. It's, have you got your rod and...
Well, give us the details, bro.
Bits and pieces.
Who was the angler? Oh, the brother-in-law George over there. George. Where is he?
Yeah, he broke about 3 or 4 times, you know.
Yeah. And you're saying it's getting up right on the line, eh?
Yeah. Gave up after 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she'd take much to grunt her up when she died, or?
Yeah. About an hour.
You had to plane it up, or?
Yeah. It was back and forth.
Oh, you earned it, eh? Well done, guys.
Couple of nice rigs in the car park. Alright, she's coming up now. What have you called it, Floyd? Do you reckon it's a black?
Yeah.
Alright, Floyd and TK both reckon she's a black.
Dad, you weren't in
It's a good size.
You might be tapped out. Come over the side.
I might be able to walk it out.
Swing it out, eh?
It's massive, mate.
Does someone want to drive the ute? Yeah,
It'll swing around now.
Oh, it's great.
That's a good fish. Nice, boys. Nice.
When they were holding it, it was.
Nice.
Oh well, George, you got an excuse for breaking on it now then.
232. Shit.
So, woo!
That is a blue? Nice, man.
Oh fuck, it's not.
Right, how's it going, guys? We have just got back up to Floyd's place, up at Trophy Lures. Floyd is currently running TK through the different lure range and stuff like that. I think they're playing around with some Lumo stuff at the moment. But yeah, Floyd is going to essentially kit us out with a few lures. So we've got him to go through and sort of set up his standard spread. So yeah, we'll go from there. What have you got for us, Floyd?
Okay, so what I tend to do for when the stripies are around and the blues are around,
Yep.
I try really match the hatch. Now, if you're fishing down at Waihau Bay, there's certain colours that have just worked absolutely spectacular. Like, I call it the mauve bait fish, other people call it gay bob.
Yeah.
Whatever you call it, it just works. The other one that works down here is the Samoan Success.
Now, there's a story behind those, but I mean, this is a totally different skirt to your traditional skirt, isn't it?
It is. Okay,
Totally different.
So, years ago you used to have trawlite skirts that were on seatail lures. So, we searched around and moulds were made and sent away, and they're effectively made overseas and made out of the same sort of material that lure skirts are made out of, but they're a bit more durable and flexible.
Yeah.
They throw a hell of a bubble trail as well, eh?
They do, and they're all rippled as they go down. So they come in a sheet form, very much like the old hooker lures used to completely wrap around and have one seam. That's the same that these do. So these give off a wicked bubble trail. Now the story around that, so what happened is when I had friends of ours down here, Derek and Karen Alberton, they actually bought trophy lures after I sold it. She had lures in her craft shop, and she used to get ladies come along and rub their hands through the skirts all the time, and she used to say, oh look, they're not interested in buying it, but they love the feel of it and they wanted something to buy. So she asked me if I could do something in it. So we made key rings to start off with,
Right.
out of these, and I picked the most gaudy colours that we actually had and made it in those colours.
Yeah.
So
Far out.
she then started selling them and then wanted to display one. Then Mike Raindrop, who fished then on because Mike and Linda,
Yes.
they took it over to Samoa and they absolutely annihilated the competition.
Yeah.
And took it out. And it was
my God.
also that lure that has caught Linda Raindrop when you did your demonstration, or you went
Yep.
down to the club.
Yep.
Yes.
You would have seen up on the wall.
Yes.
Monster blue.
The 1,000 pound, 1,085
Wow.
pounds blue
Genuine grander.
was caught on that, and that's the biggest fish caught in New Zealand on a rod and reel.
Wow. And
So-
I've been following the Raindrops adventures for years.
It's,
And it was caught.
exceptional.
And it was caught on a key ring.
And
Yeah.
so
Caught in the key ring.
got on the carry. So effectively, they've now changed their boat. They've got a new white pointer called Grandy.
Yeah.
Right.
And so
Fitting.
Wow.
Fitting.
I then made a Grandy lure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a wing Grandy lure.
Yes.
So those guys are just incredible fishermen. One bluefin season they put this out. They caught the striped marlin during the bluefin season.
Yeah.
And
And they're there.
they certainly were.
Yeah.
But they took this out and it caught a huge amount of Mike's fish for the year.
Yes. Yes.
And he's continued to have great success with it. So-
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Particularly as you know, with the flying fish around here. I mean, White Island's famous for it. You know, with Cascade charters. That was our night time. Was catching
It is.
the flying fish for the day's kingfishing.
So what I do from there is I'll either run that or run a Lumo.
Yes.
And it's if the mahi-mahi around that I'll try run a Lumo, because a Lumo's successful
Yes.
90% of the year.
Yeah.
And then what I do is at the back there I run what I call a T9 head, which is based on a Kona base, and it was actually copied off the mould off a sea tail lure.
Right. Right.
And so they were hugely successful down here at Waihau Bay. I weighted it and then spent time doing the fulcrum point properly.
Yes.
And if the skippies are around, I'll run the purple. If there's just saury around and anchovies, I'll run the blue leader.
And that's the same skirt again, isn't it?
That's exactly the same skirt. And then what I do is, then I run a bluefin spread. And what I do for the bluefin, I actually run a bigger hook, because I found running a 10 barrow hook, running your lures out slightly further, slowing down. People talk about speeding up, but we found success slowing down.
Yes. Yeah.
And then what I found is the oranges and the squid colours just were absolutely spectacular this year and last year. Anything with brown,
How did you find? We had 3 Lalinas in a row. Did you find any any differences in the lure changes or lure colours?
yeah, I did, because what we found is right at the beginning, in the first year, we started catching lures on like the blue ice,
Right.
and even the purple ice, and it was anything that it was almost like skippies were around, or small fish. Even though you were catching good size albacore, I just wondered whether the bait was really similar.
Well, everything was different, and of course this year with the La Nina coming back in, or the La Nina, El Nino, sorry, all the rules are out the window, mate. We don't know what we're going to bloody get.
Well, it's really proven, because, like, as I said, the oranges for me, and like when the young guys were coming up here, they'd been out for a couple of days, hadn't caught anything, and I talked to them about grabbing a couple of orange lures. The looks on their faces when they came back, and they'd caught a fish, and you could see them, they were covered in blood. And they would go, man, we come up to thank you so much for your lures. And but I still found that the multicolours worked as well.
Jack of all trades, aren't they?
And then even once again, that small mauve bait fish worked wicked. Now I've got a mate, Daniel Brass, down in Tora. He's been out like 3 or 4 times recently.
Yeah.
Chucked this out. It keeps on getting smacked and smoked. He hasn't landed a fish yet,
Right.
but he's adamant.
Yeah, they're the one for the year.
And he's out there trying, and that one seems, it doesn't matter where he puts it, seems to work for him.
Far out.
So, no, it's really cool.
It's funny how every year you have favourites, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I did is, I'm not that great on marketing ploys, so what I did is I just started naming the lures after different boats that were down here.
Yep.
And that, and what I did is I encouraged them to come up and buy a lure, so I had a guaranteed sale.
Good on you, mate. And I mean, we love the Warhammer, you know.
Yep.
Yeah,
Case in point.
I've been running my T6 Warhammer quite a lot lately, and
good bunch of guys.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he is so successful on his fishing, and that little boat just keeps on catching. He's a skilled fisherman, and just does absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he's got a place just down the end of the road here.
Oh, please.
So he utilizes it and goes out fishing.
Yeah.
And even his new wife did absolutely amazing in the ladies' competition for Whakatane just recently. I think they took out virtually the whole competition.
Good on them. Unreal.
Yeah. So
we've got bluefin season coming up.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting excited about that. So
yeah.
So this is our recommended spread from Floppy.
Yep. And look, hey, when the guys are going out of here, all you got to do is probably the best thing before, if you've never been to Waihau Bay, come and ask a local.
Yes.
Or come and ask someone about the channel markers, because there's every day from where we are, and you guys will film shortly. Out and see what it's like from the veranda. And out, we watch multiple boats going up on the rocks and doing damage, and all it would take is 5 minutes to come and ask.
Exactly. You can't beat local knowledge. That's the thing, you know. You put your egos aside. I mean, when we were coming up, as we were coming back up to your house, you know, sitting on the back of the boat, you can clearly see the channel. But you can't beat local advice, you know.
Exactly. And a lot of guys will go out and they've left from the pub.
Yes.
And they head back for the pub, and it just sends them into danger, because there's hidden rocks there that they'll just run over, and if they work out where the markers are, and now we've got both markers back in, so there's no reason for any excuses.
And you were saying this morning, Floppy, about the protocol when it's busy. You're now seeing, and everyone's working together quite nicely now. And you're seeing guys coming and dropping the tractor drive or the ute drive off at the thing, and actually going back out through the markers. And giving everyone a bit of space until he gets his bloody ute down, and then coming back in, so everyone has a bit of room.
Because it's no use just sitting there, because the wind will start gusting you sideways, and you haven't got much leeway. But if you can, you go back out and sit outside the markers, and then you'll see when your vehicle's coming down the road. Because there's a video that I stuck up at the beginning of the season this year. Last year, sorry, there was, I think, 120 boats we could count. But that wasn't counting the numbers of people that had already come in, all the launches over at the Cape. And they don't pay sort of come into the play, but it's more the trailer boats. And if guys don't know what they're doing and they're sitting there, especially even the ramp, if you come in on high tide and there's a bit of a swell at Waihau Bay, there's no breakwater.
You were saying this morning, you get that surge.
So you try put your boat up on the trailer, and it'll just fire you sideways and cause damage. So we generally wait for an hour and a half after high tide, and you're pretty well sweet, even if there's a surge there, because it'll hit the rocks and it'll die down, and you'll be able to get up safely. But you also, guys have got to realise that you can, when you're backing in, at the end of the ramp, there's a real big hole. So the locals at low tide and those that know will back onto the gravel and then launch off there. Which
is where we come this morning, isn't it?
That's
so it's on the eastern side of the ramp.
Closer to the jetty. Don't be afraid, it's hard. You don't need a four-wheel drive to do it.
I was looking down onto there, so it's quite a pebbly base, isn't it?
You can drive straight out, and you'll be sweet. Just bring your trailer out. It's pulling your boat out when you need to pull your boat out. You'll need a four-wheel drive, because it will start slipping.
But
have you
got any horror stories to tell us about the boat ramp?
There's a horror story just about every second day.
It does get entertaining, though.
So guys, even powering on, it's probably, and I know it's not the greatest thing, that guys that at low tide are coming in, and there's a big rock bar and they come in and they head towards their trailer, and then all of a sudden they get stuck.
Yes, yeah.
And then they've got to jump out, and then the problem is they've still got a big deep hole to get through to get the boat on.
Yeah,
So.
God. I mean, you know, to help the new generation trailers, pretty bloody smick, but you've still got the issues.
And like that, you can power on using your boat onto your trailer here. There's no issues with that. But if you just take the time and do it properly, because there's more damage done to tyres dropping over the edge and then trying to pull out, and then they hit the bead and pop the tyre.
It's a long way to a service station.
Yeah, we're lucky that there's a guy here that does it, but he doesn't do it on weekends. He wants his time off. So,
yeah. So the point there, guys, is seek local knowledge, and it's like any bar crossing. You know, if you're first going to town and you're in Whakatane bar, talk to the harbour master or talk to the locals. You know, and they're always willing to help.
There's plenty of people that are able to help. There's numbers that are there. Even if you're dropping in up to here, there's plenty of people who'll give you knowledge. There are markers going out, but you've got to still know what you're doing, because if you're not following them if you use the white markers by the shop, then you need to know that you've got to start turning in it just after you've got past the first.
So it's not a straight lead all the way through.
No, but if you ask, you'll find.
And as you say, you know, we came out, and it was great because it's great education for us coming in. You know, Floyd's saying, you know, as you come into that inside market, the inside starboard market, you can get quite close to it. You know, whereas if you go too far to the eastern side, you're going to hit the bricks. Yeah,
like that. And if you're down here, I've got most stuff to help you through. If you lose a lure, you need line. Even need your stuff traced back up. There's stuff here generally that I'm able to help, and if not, we can order it in and get it in and help you guys do it. So,
and you look at the selection camp, you know, take them through a selection is just bloody incredible, mate.
Yeah, it's absolutely unreal in here, and it's even sort of point proven again. Like when we got in from our fish today, there were some boys that had just weighed in a sort of 230 kilo odd blue marlin that had sadly died on them that they had no ice for. So sure enough, they came straight up here, and we had plenty of ice in the area for them. TK's setting off the alarms because he's trying to steal all of Floyd's lures. But yeah, it's sort of pretty epic to see like quite a few of the local guys coming down from the fishing club and stuff like that to help them out straight away and get the fish weighed in for them and sort of giving them some advice on how to break it down and where to get ice and whatnot. But yeah, massive shout out to Floyd and thanks for showing us through and spending a whole heap of our money that we're now going to have to spend on lures. But hey, happy days.